Welcome to the Club of Heroes.
Bullshit edition!
Bullshit edition. I am your host, Chris Bearden. These are my co-hosts.
I'm Jerand. Hey.
This is Lauren.
I'm Evan Arnold.
My name is John.
I'm Batman. And I'm Chris again. Today we're going to talk about nothing in particular. Jerand, why don't you kick us off? I know you had something you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, Power Rangers. Lauren. I think Lauren, we were talking about after humanity ended.
And Power Rangers? Did that happen?
That was later in the discussion. We talked about Power Rangers.
Are you speaking about like a post-apocalyptic Power Rangers?
I'm talking about
I would like that.
real world shit. I'm talking about
Power Rangers.
Cats and dogs, zoo animals.
I think I know what you're referring to. I forgot the name of the game.
Animal Crossing? You're talking about
Animal Crossing.
Power Rangers edition?
That's post-apocalyptic. So about Tokyo Jungle.
Apocalyptic.
Tokyo Jungle, thank you.
We played that game like 20 minutes ago. How do you forget these things?
I still have a terrible memory. I should remember the Pomeranian.
They're Pomeranians in that game?
Yes.
Dude, I took down a lion with Pomeranians in that game.
Do you collect them?
Kinda.
Is this like Pokemon?
No, it's weird. It's like after humanity ends.
They're Pomeranians.
You play as animals.
No,
it's like what happens after the world ends. Like all
Capture Pomeranians and you train them to
the
take down lions.
Shut up, Matt. But
shut down.
But it's like animals, like pets became feral. Zoo animals escape.
Being Pomeranians.
And you get to pick an animal and you survive. Like some eat plants and stuff. I don't know.
So is it like DayZ for animals?
Yeah, sure. It's like 2D.
It's kind of like that. It was really cool.
It was. I like the part though where the only thing we gave a shit about was marking territory and trying to mate with the next chick we saw.
So this is a really important question to me. Can you literally fuck anything in that game?
No.
Anything?
No, only your own species.
You cannot crossbreed.
They're not very liberal. They're not very liberal about who you marry in that game.
You can't mix Sharkaranians.
I was literally gonna just say this new scientific name for this breed of animal. Sharkaranians.
Yeah. Where did Power Rangers come in on this?
That's the first thing
I think Power
That's the only thing that brought in my head.
And then the apocalypse
happened. No.
They need to make a good Power Rangers game.
Became the new Power Rangers, and they caused the apocalypse.
I'd buy that
Thus,
game.
they run the post-apocalyptic world now. They have a new currency, government, civilization.
They're in bison.
They make their own religions.
Yeah, I'm going to retcon all that shit. What are we talking about again? Power Rangers versus, what?
We were talking about living out our fantasies as banging other dogs as dogs in a game called Tokyo.
So if I was a dog, say a Doberman, my favorite dog, and I was banging other dogs, what would happen exactly, Jerand?
You would have mini Dobermans to command and fight.
And then you will have like
an army of baby Dobermans.
So is puppy death averted in this game?
No, it happens.
It happens.
Oh, this is real as shit.
And then you lose health.
Can they get attacked by predators?
Yep.
Like if you were a Doberman, can you attack by like a griffin or something?
Yeah, I'm sure some birds fight back in that game.
I like to say I'm a PETA activist, and this game needs to stop.
I'm sure you'll make.
This game does not need airtime.
I'm sure you'll make a game based on Tokyo Jungle, but it will probably have like
people in it,
fucking
and being killed by other people.
Probably animals caging people.
That's part of life.
Eating
and we're still a Doberman.
You can make your name Doberman.
Okay.
PETA will probably help you.
Colonel Doberman reporting for duty.
Colonel Doberman.
For fucking.
Private Bacon Dick, ready for lift job.
So this is like our Seinfeld episode. This is our episode about nothing, like Seinfeld.
Yeah. It's nothing. Like Larry David wrote this one.
Did you do Curb Your Enthusiasm, or I think of a different guy?
No, he did Curb Your Enthusiasm. He's the guy in Curb Your Enthusiasm. Yeah.
Larry, he actually made Seinfeld, didn't he?
Yeah.
He made
it. He
birthed it
from his womb. Yeah. He passed it through his cervix. Yes.
I should call this Seinfeld.
The thing about Seinfeld, what's the whole thing behind in Superman? Because, Superman is a big part of Seinfeld.
In every episode.
Exactly. You can see Superman or a symbolism. We can't hear you, John. Hold on.
No, I don't want the hug to be on the podcast. That's a YouTube exclusive.
In every episode, there's a Superman.
Superman doll, action figure, or
it's everything. It's from a basic doll to, because there's a whole episode where Jerry explained about Bizarro.
Bizarro
and
world.
She moved, and then there was like a Bizarro Kramer that would knock before he entered and stuff like that. I remember that. The only episode I remember pretty vividly was the one about the guy who stole Kennedy's golf clubs, and Kramer and the Kramer and the little fat dude getting like banging the farmer's daughter and getting like shot at. That's the only thing I remember about
You mean George?
Yeah, George.
George Costanza? I always confused him for Newman in that scene.
He was like, my car broke down, can you help me? And he's like, yeah, just don't touch my daddy. And Kramer would show me. He'd be like, hey, George, what's going on? Like, what? Kramer.
But that still doesn't explain to me why is Superman such a...
Because the writer really loves Superman. Yeah, it's just as simple as that.
Larry David?
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think he was a Superman fan?
Well, he had to be. Superman's in every part of his
No, he
TV
hated
series.
it.
No, well,
He's like, I'm going to teach him a lesson.
Well, the interesting thing is, he makes Seinfeld and has Superman appear in every episode, but then he goes on to make Curb Your Enthusiasm and nowhere to be seen.
But do you think he read, like, Superman comics?
He does kind of look like Stan Lee, which is a Marvel.
Oh my God!
I don't think
I think
you can't take every balding white man and say he looks like Stan Lee every day.
Hey, look,
Very true.
Jean-Luc Picard looks like Stan Lee without hair. Oh, stop it.
The Forge, report to bridge.
Oh, God.
Are you two throwing fireballs across the room? I just see you like Kamehameha waves like each other.
I was going to mention, I don't know if any of you saw the Superman versus Goku death battle.
Nope.
I did
Done
not.
by
Yeah, I saw that. I saw
I
that.
didn't see that.
I guess I'm the only one that did.
Goku,
Oh, you didn't see
Goku
it?
I didn't agree
I
with it,
didn't.
but yeah.
He was,
Who am I more inspired by? Goku. But to me, they broke down the facts.
That's because you're a
because
wizard.
Goku would instant transmission, and Superman just holds out his arm, and Goku appears on it and dies, right?
I don't know.
But
I don't
Superman
get it.
wouldn't fucking kill somebody by,
This is
grabbing
very
their arm.
true.
I don't know. I can't see Goku and Superman getting in a fight.
Exactly.
They're both such like Pollyannas. I can't see them like getting in a fight with
Whatever.
each other.
That would be the same cliche as everything, where two dudes fight, and then they're like the ultimate evil would ultimately being ultimate show up.
Yeah, like Frieza shows up and they gangbang.
It's like Frieza. It's like Frieza.
Do the
and
Eiffel Tower.
It's like Frieza finds kryptonite and
Finger
becomes
cuff.
like a green Frieza, and then they'd be like, "Oh, we have to team up the fight," and then they'd be like, "Oh, you're not
Before
so
she gives
bad."
birth to Lex Luthor.
I think the better Dragon Ball Z was the one I showed you earlier.
Well,
I showed him that
it's
Dragon
like
Ball Z
the
PvP.
Captain America versus Batman. They fought, but yet
Do they kiss?
they still communicate while they're fighting.
Yes.
Why are we doing this? They still have their fight.
And there was no decisive winner.
Exactly.
Yeah. They both agreed that, hey, we could fight and it would take forever and maybe you would win, but we have to work together to achieve a greater goal.
Exactly.
And I feel that way about Goku and Superman. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I can see that, but I feel like, the whole reason they did it was because it was fan-based.
Mm.
Every fan wanted to see it, and there was fans on Goku's side and Superman's side, but I think at the very end of the video, they made a point to say that they pitted a limitless character, Superman, versus a limited character. Like, Goku can only go so far, and him overcoming,
But
certain things are what make him stronger.
it's like correct me if I say this right. It's like the Deus Ex Machina thing. That's like what Goku is. It's like ultimately he reaches a limit until the next thing comes.
Right.
Yeah.
And then ultimately,
There's always another transformation for Goku. Yeah.
Would there be
I would actually
like
say that Superman's a limited one because he's based off our yellow sun.
They put that.
But they
in
also
too.
said that, isn't it the blue sun would also give him
×2.
would give him more power?
so there's multipliers
And if
now?
there's a red sun, it just
Red
touches
sun
him like.
depletes power.
Yeah,
I thought the
Get
Red
some
Sun
limp.
makes him a bully, and then we had to get Jimmy.
No. You're thinking of fucking Smallville right there.
Oh! Okay.
Yeah. Like, if Goku got defeated, he'd just be like, Yamcha! And he'd go like a blue guy with like little Chinese symbols. Like, I'm training better now. Okay.
Chaozu would just latch onto Superman's back and blow up.
God, no. Like, the first time I watched,
I'm on the floor while I'm gone!
the first time I watched Superman 2, I wasn't watching Superman 2, I was watching Dragon Ball Z. You know?
You thought it was Superman?
Except Goku doesn't rip the Chinese symbol off his chest. He uses it to wrap up, Caesar or whatever.
The power of
Superman.
The power of cellophane. Hey, man. I had a cellophane accident at work, and that shit is tricky to get out of. I felt for that guy. I felt for that dude,
I think
Superman
it's Thomas
2.
now that you've mentioned it.
Oh, no, I was wrapping stuff in the bakery, and I picked up cellophane, and it fell on me, and I kept trying to pull it off, and I didn't realize I needed to cut it first because I wasn't thinking correctly. Because, you know, a bunch of shit just fell on me, so...
Yeah,
So naturally, I was wrapped, and then and I was just like, oh, I get it. Like, right in the middle of it, I was like, now I know why that dude couldn't break out of it. This shit's fucking sticky.
Even General Zod can't break through cellophane.
It's like being covered in several small children.
Which Jerand is very familiar with.
Seaman.
Speaking of, like, really awkward work experiences, there was one time, because I imagine I've told you guys this story at some point, but I don't think our listeners have ever heard me say it yet. I had a long-term tenant at the RV park where I work who was a nice guy, but he was a neo-Nazi.
I remember that.
Like,
wait, really? Like
I'm serious.
Like skinhead?
Well, no, he had hair. But
You didn't know
okay.
this?
No,
I don't know.
I'm usually the
Anyway,
last,
go on.
I'm usually the last
Go
one to
on.
hear about these things.
So he was nice. The first hint I got was when he was out like sunning one day, and like he had the double twin lightning bolts in the skull. Like either he's a pirate or he's a Nazi.
He must work for the Red Skull.
And he'd always end our conversation with "Auf Wiedersehen," which I felt really awkward about because he was like just some white dude. That's the only German he knew, I guess.
What do you call those people? Because you have weeboos for Japan. What do you call a German?
Nazis?
Yeah, you call them Nazis.
Nazi
I was
otaku.
talking about people that only like Germany, but partially.
German
like
otaku.
German attack.
It's a Jermaku.
What do they
I
like?
think you just titled our episode. Like
This could be called Jermaku Strikes Back. But anyway, so he was pretty nice. Like he never like bothered me about like the state of America because of like black people or anything like that. Like we steered clear of those conversations. I didn't have to like be like, oh, I've got to go back to work before you tell me about how minorities are destroying this country. And he'd offer me like a beer and stuff. But he was he's a nice guy. He just was a neo-Nazi. He just had that like one kind of big flaw that keeps you from being friends and you're just acquaintances.
like a flaccid penis growing out of his chest. Like.
He's a great guy, but man, that penis.
That dick out of his chest.
Can't stop staring at that.
Except this dick was shaped like a swastika. I mean, it's just the same situation. So anyway, like one day I had some tenants pulling next to him for a couple days, and the last name was Goldenbaum. I was like, okay, whatever. I mean, yeah, that's a Jewish-sounding last name, but he'd probably just mind his own business. It won't be a big deal. And it's a blind turn to turn into the site. And, he's going to be right next to him. I have nowhere else to put him. Otherwise, I would have moved him somewhere else to avoid a possible incident. So,
where do you work, by the way, Evan?
Not divulged. Stop that.
It works at Walgreens. Anyway, go on.
It works at an RV place.
CVS RV place.
Works at Stop and Go. Anyway, go ahead.
So, I'm leading them around the spine curve, so they can park their unit, whatever, and get relaxing. Well, my friend decided to do a little Nazi spring cleaning. And one of the things he had was like a giant SS banner, like a big American-sized one, like a huge one, like the way you'd see like a flag.
What is American size?
American flag-sized one, like you'd see at the post office, like a big one. And I guess he didn't want to desecrate his flag or whatever, because like he had taken it, tacked it to a broom pole, like into a broom, and like he walked over to the site next to him where these guys are going to go and stuck it in the ground. So there's this SS banner just like hanging in the wind. I see it. They don't see it yet because they're going around the corner.
Oh, glory.
I know. And he's there. He's like, "Hi, how's it going?" Like, this all three of his teeth. And he's like sweeping. I'm like, "Oh, like I look at it, I look back there, I'm like, what do I do? Like I'm panicking, like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, I'll just play it straight. Just pretend it's not there. So I'm outside, and like just a few seconds after they pull in, fucking drags it back inside. I was only off by a few minutes. It wasn't out there long. It was just long enough to be inconvenient. Immediately they pull back around. They say, "We're sorry, we can't stay here." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I understand." I give them a refund. But yeah, that was my one really awkward work experience.
Put themselves up in the attic.
Could have been really bad.
I got a place in the attic you like.
We gotta be really quiet.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
How are we gonna top that?
I don't know.
Good job, Evan. You just ruined this.
How about you, John? Do you have any excellent, awful work stories?
Saved a marriage.
Seriously?
Okay, that's a fucking story. Get on the mic.
Not really. It's pretty much short, but
Embellish.
He fucked a wife.
yeah. There were some pictures. No.
Or he fucked the husband. He fucked
Pretty much,
Both.
I'm a computer tech guy, so they were having troubles. They were kind of old, and they didn't know about computers much. I think it was a printer problem, or no, internet problem. I was like, I can't get on the internet, fucking wireless. I don't fucking know that shit.
Dude, really? Because I have that problem like every day. Can I just come to you and be like...
And then the wife was like, well, do you remember that? I was like, I fucking did that. Come on.
Don't worry about it. Quit staring at it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, no, really. Like, Julie has a key.
I'm scared.
I'm gonna hide behind John.
Ghosts. Hey.
Julia, we're recording.
Oh,
Get
no.
out. Bye.
How's it going?
Julie joined us.
No, I want to know though, what does not knowing shit about wireless have to do with marriage?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I
That's some
fixed it in
Wayne's
like
bullshit.
2 minutes, and he said, wow, really, it was that easy? I could have, man, you saved the marriage right there. Like, yeah, you should have seen him. He got so mad about it, he actually grabbed the printer, and believe me this, he really did this.
Believe me this.
Yeah, they're talking really weird. You should have seen me. I was so mad, I grabbed that printer, and I fucking threw it on the and it exploded. It was pretty scary. Yeah, he's probably gonna kill his wife.
Like, I was gonna fucking kill her. Over my wireless internet.
And that was it.
Oh my god.
And I was just like, that's pretty cool, I guess. Good thing you didn't stab your wife.
Just like, thank you for coming. Let's go.
Did she ask if her turkey was okay?
Yeah.
Don't leave it on the floor.
Don't leave the printer on the floor.
What
about you, Matt? Any awful work experiences?
Our commanding leader just left. Sorry.
What about you, Lauren?
All I can think about is working retail.
This bitch got to play with no, you got to play with the baby kangaroo. You don't have bad stories. Like you don't have bad days.
I did get to play with the baby kangaroo, but that's not my current job, so and that was exciting. The kids of the people that I work with in the office, they like to run around like outside and adventure. And the place where I work it's kind of serene, and we've had foxes and stuff there and hawks and really weird stuff. But the lady that had
It's a regular Disney cartoon.
the lady that had the office next to us, she happened to have a baby kangaroo at her office that day because they have a lot of wild animals on their farm, and she just got it, and it was a red kangaroo, and I don't know, they get really big, and she was really cute, and she'd sit in her pouch and everything.
Did they
Food on your hand?
box? Did you box this kangaroo?
No, she was too small. She was like up to my knees.
Is it legal to own those? I thought they were like you couldn't.
I don't know. I mean, they have land. Like they have a lot of land, and maybe that allows you to have one. I don't know.
I guess so.
I don't know about in the city limits.
Well, it's like owning a wild or
A giraffe.
An exotic
giraffe.
I've seen a giraffe.
You have to have a license to own like an exotic animal.
Right, exactly,
Yeah.
like an ocelot or leopards. And usually, wild animals. Well, what I've heard is it takes 5 generations of a wild animal to domesticate it. You know, like a wolf. People have wolves as pets, but they're 5th generation wolves. And these wolves grow to giant sizes, and it's bigger than any other dog.
Many generations.
I always wanted a fox. Do you have to do the same thing for foxes?
No, I see more people with foxes than like wolves or monkeys.
I'm sure they're a lot
They're
easier
very
to
talkative.
domesticate.
That's why I like them. They will talk to you.
They speak English.
Yeah, they speak English.
Monkeys are bastards. I would not
Monkeys
want
are
that.
not a fun animal to
They
have.
throw poop and bite you and
Well, no, they will attack you.
aggressive. They're like
They will?
They're like
Yeah,
They're-
they're
Little ones?
They're very emotional little animals.
they're attached. Yeah.
they're like
They do.
midgets on crack.
If you like discipline the monkey, they will remember this, and when you're sleeping, when they have an advantage, they will attack you.
Try to cage that beast all the time.
Remember that time that like Rudy attacked Hunter in his sleep for his transgressions?
Rudy attacking Hunter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard some things about fluids on arms that have done that man.
That's why you
several
don't
times.
masturbate in the top bunk. Like people don't learn anything.
What do they still do having a bunk bed?
And
Didn't Hunter live
bunk beds are
by
awesome.
himself?
There's so much room for activities.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, it's dirty.
Your turkey is safe.
I know you're a big fan of activities, Matt.
Activities are fun, man. We're having activities right now.
Yeah, but we're doing it without said bunk bed being here. So
There's some bunk beds.
where?
What are you talking about?
Don't look around. There's nothing in this room. They don't know that, but I just told them.
Audio medium. Just keep talking.
I mean, shelves are bunk beds technically for books and movies.
Monkeys.
No, we're not getting metaphorical or technical in this place. We're too good for that.
So what were you guys talking about?
We're talking
Worst
well,
workplace experiences.
They steamrolled
That's what
onto
we're talking
work.
about.
Exactly.
Oh, Julie, look at that
Workplace
smile.
You have to at least give your 2 cents.
There you
Jules.
go.
What? Workplace worst?
Worst, like.
Okay, when
period.
I first started working at a convenience store, which I shall not name,
Who's that? Who's that? Who's
here
that?
in South Texas,
Who's that?
I think it was like my first week. Oh, okay. Is it not? I feel dorky though.
It's hanging around your neck like a dog.
Oh, okay.
That's right. It's like a dog collar.
So, it was like my first week, and they're constantly saying like, okay, you have to ID everybody under 30. And I was like, alright, that's fine. And so, it was like before 1 o'clock, and so I was just IDing everybody, and then like this whole group of like young guys come in, and they're just drunk off their fucking asses. And you're not supposed to sell to anybody who's drunk already, because it's like a...
It's the law.
Yeah, it's the law. And so I had to tell them, like, they get all their beer, and I had to tell them, like, no, you can't buy that. And so they got all mad, and I was just like, whatever. And then, so they were like, whatever, we're gonna get hot dogs and all this shit. So they get the
You should have
huge...
said that you require an ID for all your food. They just get out.
Once you're drunk, you must have ID for everything. No, I was like, okay, that's fine. And so they get the huge 64-ounce drink. And then they get a whole bunch of hot dogs.
Oh, I see
And
what
the
this is
first
going.
guy who comes up just dumps, like, he just sets his drink on the glass table, which my lottery tickets are right under, and it just completely, it just falls. And it falls on me, and it falls on all my lottery tickets, so all my lottery tickets got, like, wet, the first ones. And I was just like, get out. Cause he was like drunkenly trying to like clean it. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry, and his friends were laughing, and I was like, all of you get out. And they're like, no, we need to pay for. I was like, no, just leave. Like, I'm not gonna let you like pay for this. I'm just gonna like, you guys can't even have this. Just go. And they got like really mad, and I had to clean it all up, and that was like my worst experience thus far at.
That's pretty shitty.
Yeah, I just was like, that just put me in a bad mood, because
Stop pointing, John!
I hate, like, it makes you, like, working at a place like that, it makes you greatly dislike, people who are already inebriated.
Yeah.
And then they come in and they're like, oh, well, I want this, this, and this, and they get, like, an attitude with you.
I wouldn't say mine was a bad experience. It was just one of the experiences I thought was kind of weird.
That's kind of weird. I don't know. I imagine the restrooms would be one thing that would make me want to work at a gas station, like kind of restrooms.
I've been like
Because
cleaning.
like some people, like I think they use literally do a handstand above the toilet bowl and try and take a shit. This is like the patterns they make.
No, I've had an experience. I've had an experience like that at Target. When I used to work at Target, we had the cashiers had to clean the restrooms. Oh my god, the most disgusting place that I've cleaned actual condominiums, like hotel rooms, like I've cleaned all that. I've had plenty of bad experiences with that. So, but Target's bathrooms, I just don't know what people, like girls' deals were, because I didn't clean the guys, just the girls. Isn't it disgusting?
It is. I was gonna say I worked at a fabric store, and the worst thing we've ever had happen was an elderly woman shit herself while shopping. Proceeded to go into the bathroom and wash her jeans, because she was wearing jeans. Wash her jeans, so she was naked in there, and people were walking in, and were like, there's a naked elderly woman in there. And so we had that problem, and then she was getting, like, shit water everywhere. And then put her jeans back on and proceeded to shop.
Oh my god.
That was, and
I'm
had
sorry.
trails of, like, shit
I'm
water.
sorry.
Oh my god.
I think.
You don't think about it from their perspective.
Yeah,
Imagine
they don't give a shit.
Imagine how embarrassed she was.
I bet she was like, fuck this, I gotta get my shit out of my hand.
I mean, being an old woman, I feel like even if I was old, I would have been like, I need to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, like, who gets
I
that?
would shop for fabric another time. Like, I would be so embarrassed. Like, if that would have happened to me, I would have been so embarrassed. I would have just left right away. Like, I would have done, like, the jacket trick.
Hold on. What is the jacket trick?
Okay.
Yeah, it really is.
No, now it's everybody. We're already
Girls basically know this, and if you don't, take note. Okay, most girls, when they're in high school or middle school, start wearing jackets. Well, I know most of my friends did. Because if anything happened, like, say, you get your period, or you accidentally shit yourself, which I've never...
I've never been a victim of that.
I never accidentally shit myself.
I accidentally
that
shit
crime
myself
almost.
at least once a week.
I once farted and almost pooped my pants.
I
Shark, yeah.
Wasn't I there for that?
No, I was with Lauren.
It was that Jason Kelly.
Cause usually I...
Imagine his face. He's probably like...
Cause
we need to go.
This podcast is sponsored by Jason Dose.
Wait.
And the
So the jacket trick.
The jacket trick is you just have a jacket and you just tie it around your waist so you can quickly, nobody can see anything going on in the pants area.
Because if anything happens, it's going to show from the back.
It's going to show from the back, not the front. Yeah, so you want to make sure.
It's security.
Yeah, it's a security blanket.
And classes get cold.
Yeah,
On that note, I must have been 5 or 6 years old. I was visiting some relatives in my
Did you get
father's
your period?
side of the family. No. This period-related story. And I had a very jaded uncle, and he's like, "Whatever you do, Evan, I'm gonna give you one piece of advice." I'm like, "What's that?" And he's like, "Don't trust anything that bleeds for more than 2 days and doesn't die." And at the time, I didn't understand it. I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Don't trust women." Okay.
Don't trust women.
And now.
Let me do it.
What do you do, no government?
You done goofed.
I backtraced it.
I backtraced the women's. But now I understand. That's what the jacket trick made me think of.
Yeah, I know, and I know lots of girls who do that,
What happened to you shitting yourself in the privacy of your own home?
It's cooler than doing it in
That's
public.
today's America.
Is nothing sacred anymore? Fabric stores?
Nobody gives two shits about this.
But
Thank you. Thank you, Evan. I tried.
used to have like a lot of, since there was like a baby changing station in the girls' bathroom. I think there was one in the guys' bathroom too. But there would just be like just poo and like diapers. Like they would just leave them there.
Yeah.
Well,
And,
people
like,
throw
period
diapers out in the
stuff,
middle of
and
the
it was
fucking
just
parking
disgusting.
lot too.
Yeah. Oh, and then the birds get to it. Oh my god.
Amazing. This is the ecosystem.
Wait, the birds get to the indoor
you know,
bathroom?
Captain Planet.
No, diapers.
Okay, I'm sorry.
They build an elaborate plot. They go in through the air ducts and climb down through the ventilation.
I know birds were that fucking smart, you know?
They got opposable toes.
Haven't you ever seen Birdemic?
No.
Go watch it.
Is that like a Hitchcock film? Or
Oh, no. It's definitely not a Hitchcock film. No, Birdemic is a movie about a man's... Have you ever seen that, Evan?
I think I've heard about it.
It's about a man who likes to get up in the morning, eat breakfast, drive, get gas, drive, park, work, sell a company for $1 billion, and then earn $1 million, get back, drive, park, get more gas, go eat, come back, and then 40 minutes later, then birds attack. That's that movie.
So it's like Clerks.
Not as good.
It's like Clerks with birds.
That movie is ridiculous. It has the biggest CGI birds I've ever seen, and they dive bomb, explode, and when you kill them, acid pours from them.
Well,
That escalated quickly.
Is that really part of the story? They're acidic
Yeah.
birds?
Yeah, like nothing's explained. Like the movie literally is about this guy, and he's the worst actor ever. And it goes for 40 minutes, and there's nothing.
I think this is the worst film ever.
Yeah.
It is.
Aside from
There's
3
literally-
Dead Adam.
Well, there's literally nothing going on in that movie except like there's
Driving?
there's like a 20-minute scene I remember.
Parking?
Well, the guy who did it is not very good at English, so like he rounds stuff in numbers. He rounds it up.
Is this a turkey film?
No, it's an American film, and I just remember like he was leaving somewhere, and then they were like, "Hey, look!" And then the next scene were birds dive bombing and exploding in the buildings. That was like that, and they go just the same.
I wonder what PETA had to say about that.
I'm sure they didn't give a shit because nobody watched that movie.
Birds are not filled with acid. That is a lie.
It's the weirdest movie because for 40 minutes it's just this guy, and like out of that 40 minutes, I believe 30 minutes of it is him driving.
I'd like to see like a catastrophe movie like that, except it's a giant-sized Rush Limbaugh attacking like the city like Godzilla.
It begins in Port Aransas, Texas. It ends in Washington, D.C.
These birds must have been a product of Agent Orange.
The band?
Whatever Agent Orange.
Definitely a band.
The Tang Agent Orange flavor, whatever.
It begins in orange flavor Tang. It ends in Washington, D.C.
Exactly.
Tank commercials with those monkeys.
Oh my
chimp.
god, they were so cool.
The orangutans, exactly. I love them.
What was the tank? It was like tank. It's a kick in the glass, right?
Yeah. It's a kick in the glass.
Right in that glass right there.
I don't think I've ever seen those commercials since Fox Kids
Oh, yeah.
existed.
That and Zoo Books. Does anyone remember Zoo
Books?
I used to have two.
I remember.
All of them.
I remember that kid and
All
that
of them.
postman were really excited to read two books together. It was kind of weird.
There's gonna be like major. My grandma used to buy. This is so dorky. My grandma used to buy us zoo books for Christmas. Like that was like like that was like our Christmas present from Grandma.
Merry
Weekman.
Christmas,
Like,
learn something.
yeah.
Look at all the sea turtles.
Educate yourself about the animals of the world.
You know what?
Thanks, Grandma.
Dorky because I loved it. Like I was so excited. I was like, oh my god.
Did you even read it, like, or did you just like look at pictures?
Look at like the.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah, fucking thing.
You know what's funny is I was watching the Today Show.
A dinosaur is
yesterday.
this big?
Today Show yesterday. I guess it would be the Yesterday Show.
Except I probably say
But
like dang
The Happy
darn.
Meals, you know, it's like a burger, fries, and a toy.
Yeah.
Well, they're getting rid of the toy and putting books in these Happy Meals.
That's the
So-
lamest shit I've ever heard.
They're gonna be brownie meals now.
Really?
Instead of exactly.
Brownie meal?
No, remember like
Such
they
the
had,
brownie
like, golden
meals. I was like,
Did they? I didn't know they did that.
No, yeah, like one time they had like anybody remember Golden Books? They had
Yeah.
like, Golden Fine.
Yeah,
Golden Books.
I don't know if they ever did that in Happy
I
Meal.
remember Burger King
They
had
did,
Pokemon.
they did it for like
did.
one.
I
They
have
have those golden cards.
exactly the golden
I
cards.
have those still.
I do too.
Which ones?
The
No,
Pokemon,
I
like
think
it's
the
the giant
Pokemon.
Pokeball.
Yeah, I still have those. I have like a Jigglypuff. I must have 3 Jigglypuffs. That is.
How unlucky is that?
I'm a pretty unlucky guy, apparently.
I had gotten like Poliwhirl and Pikachu.
Yeah, I had a Poliwhirl.
I used to throw a thing at my dog trying to catch it.
I like the keychain Pokeballs though. The ones you can get on keychain that had figurines in them and stuff.
You mean the like Tamagotchis?
No. They didn't
With
have like
Pikachu?
screens. Like they had figures inside them. They were like the ones that you got from.
Like a keychain under your feet.
Yes.
Okay.
They were like.
It's a muck, I think, right?
It is. It's
Yes,
not-
it is a mug. But it was like a Pokeball, and you could like hit the button to open them and stuff.
yeah.
I used to throw them at people all the time.
Did they ever open when you did that?
Yeah.
And then they
It didn't
collect
catch
your
anybody.
stick and
It more
hit you
hurt. It more
with
hurt and
baseball
got me detention, but at least it got me something.
I remember they have Beanie Babies at McDonald's. I was like,
I have
fucking
every
excited.
single one
I was
of those.
like, I'm gonna get all of them, and then I was just like, when I got older, like 2 years later.
You grew up fast.
Yeah, no, 2 years later, I was like, what the fuck? Like, why do I have all of these things? Like, I don't know what
Me and my
That was
grandma
such a
have every
craze.
single one of those.
I don't
and
understand
I regret
why that
nothing.
was such a
Like,
craze.
I love those things so much. It's all about the bears.
No, my
Some of
sister,
I
yeah,
guess it was like Furbies.
yeah, my sister still has them. When
Aren't they bringing
when she
Furbies
worked
back?
at McDonald's,
Oh my god,
she got
unfortunately.
like all of the Hello Kitty shit. When my sister worked at McDonald's, she got all the Hello Kitty shit, like all of this fucking stuff, and she still has it. And she's like, "Oh yeah, this is gonna be worth money." I was like, "It's not gonna be worth shit, Marcy. Like this stuff is like
If I
nobody
remember
wants this.
if-
They're just stupid toys." Like,
If I remember this correctly, I have not dwelled in the world of Beanie Babies lately, but and people can comment if people are actually watching this. They can comment, and because, like I said last time, YouTube comments are very good, and we need them, and they're a must. I think that the most expensive Beanie Baby they ever made was
The Husky.
No, it was Peanut the Royal Blue Elephant. That was the most
Husky.
expensive.
why
most
was it
expensive
so
one.
expensive? Was it like dipped
Like
in
it's
I have-
sold for a lot? Or is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
it's like the hardest to find, the most expensive. It's like the rarest.
So how much is it? Like if you went on eBay to look for it.
Look, I haven't seen this thing in years. I think the last time I
It's
saw
like
it,
that
and this
old
was
lady
years
shit
ago,
itself. It's like,
it went.
it's worth this much.
It is. It is the blue peanut.
This will pay for my cats for a week.
You could be like, top comment.
Actually, John has pulled it up here on the
Go for it.
on the internet.
I think the last time I saw it was like
John has pulled it up on the internet here. The most expensive Beanie
5,000?
Baby
Yeah, well,
is
that's less than I thought.
That's still a ridiculous amount like stuffing.
Yeah, alright. I need that motherfucking Beanie Baby. Give me that Beanie Baby, I need it. What's up? Just whoa.
Wait, where's the microphone?
It's not even a Beanie Baby bear. Who gives a shit about that elephant?
Never bought into that.
This is gonna be like the most retarded like thing because I'm gonna be like, where's the thing
I know,
at? Like
it's-
messing with
This is
it.
gonna be a very loud podcast.
This is a professional.
Say shit fuck a lot. At least I'm saying shit.
So
You know what movie I saw recently that
What's
I
that?
really
What?
liked because it had Tom Hardy in it.
Tom Hardy.
Lawless. That was a good movie.
Lawless with Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy. He has huge lips. I wish he would kiss me.
are they about the same size and weight as Angelina Jolie's lips, or are they a little bit smaller?
I don't think anybody's ever gonna top that shit.
They're a little smaller, but they're much fuller.
I'll keep that
No,
in
he
mind.
has very.
How is Lawless shot? Does it have? Is it like very vibrant in color? Is it very grainy?
No.
No.
Is there like-
I gave you two options and you just told me no. So how is it shot? Is it a
I don't know.
cartoon?
No, it's
What
not
is-
a cartoon.
What is Lawless?
I don't know.
a cartoon?
That's
A
all I
movie?
think about.
Sum it up in 5 words.
I don't know. It was
That's a very good description. Sum it up with your favorite sound.
no. Apparently, okay. It's based off of a true story.
What did I think about Django Unleashed with my favorite sound?
It's based off of a true story, and it's I think one of the sons actually wrote the book, and it was based off of the book.
What part about it is Lawless?
It's about 3
Amigos? Oh.
I like that movie.
It's about 3 brothers, and they're a part of the Prohibition era, and they're whiskey runners. They make a.
Is Elijah Wood in that movie too?
Huh?
Is Elijah
Yeah.
Wood?
No. What's this? Shia
Shia Buttfuck.
Yeah. I was like.
Oh, you mean Indiana Jones' son?
And you know what? He plays the exact same role that he plays in every.
No, that's totally canon.
Like Shia LaBeouf, plays the same role.
Are there aliens? Are there aliens in Lawless?
No.
Robots.
No.
Eagle Eye.
No.
What?
You are just really going over everything.
Thank you.
I don't know, maybe.
I don't know. It was reading too quiet, and then it was reading not quiet.
You were like
the microphone is like.
Yeah.
You only put tone and we are in sync. You're all.
If you can give the mic to Lauren, because you are really picking up.
Your voice is power.
Yes.
Here we go.
Raw power.
There you go.
Mr. LaForge reports to bridge.
I'm on my way.
It's alright. It's not fashionable, but.
Oh my gosh.
Looks like a young.
What is that in your background?
Ooh la la.
Right?
Dead Space.
Because of video games.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why he's flying from here. Guns.
So Tavia at
Are you
work,
fucking
she
playing
was
a video game over
she
there,
was like,
John?
do you consider yourself a gamer? And she was like, why are you laughing? I was like, because I know gamers. And I was like, and I am
you know
not
gamers.
one of them. And she was like, what do you mean by that? I was like, no, it's nothing negative. I was like, it's just a lot of people say that they're gamers, and they're not, because they don't spend the time, the dedication.
John, why don't you
to
tell us about gamers?
Well, they jerk off or
I know, I just thought it was funny, because I was just like, no. And she was like, oh, she's like, that sounded mean. I was like, no, I didn't mean it mean. I was just like, I'm not a gamer.
Well, I guess it's something that I've always kind of wondered about since I've gotten most of my friends here that I talk to that play games. Like, what's your opinion? What makes someone a gamer apart from someone that just plays games casually? Like, is there a difference?
Well,
You mean a hardcore gamer versus a casual gamer?
Well, like what? Would you even consider a casual gamer a gamer?
To the common man, is there a difference?
Yeah.
no.
There's no way.
If there was, definitely not anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I can tell that if somebody says, "Hey, I love Call of Duty," like if they're just like, "I love Call of Duty," I can tell they don't play video games.
Right.
We lost our one fan that loves Call of Duty.
Well, the whole gaming thing is because gaming really came into the spotlight, and because you have MLG gaming now, or Major League Gaming, and you have the NFL, National Football League, and the whole thing behind this professional gaming and casual gaming is League of Legends and other games have put it in the spotlight.
Esports.
Well, no, competitive.
Exactly.
It's competitive versus just like platformers or things like that, beat 'em ups. It's a different type of genre to me. At least to me, it is.
But I mean, people are starting to. I'm not jerking off here, but I mean, the only thing I know about is League of Legends.
He's totally
really
jerking
brought
off.
it in. And
I'm watching it right now.
Exactly.
I mean, League of Legends is really. League of.
No, I like League of Legends.
I mean, because you don't.
League of Legends.
Well, I mean,
Legends is, gotta get, League of Legends.
and you have StarCraft 2. StarCraft 2 has brought it in this thing. And they had statistics on this, and they had about 100,000 viewers watching, like, the world tournaments of this game. And you have the...
They're all Korean.
It was good, but man, they messed up so hard.
How many do you have, like, whenever we would watch the, like, Street Fighter tournaments or the
Evo?
game? Yeah, like Evo.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
how
there
many
you go.
people would be watching Evo?
Lots of people.
Thousands.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
like,
No,
You know what? It hit last year.
At
Last year
least-
it hit 1 million. It hit over
A
1
million?
million.
Yeah.
It
You're
did.
crazy. Look at you, Vince McMahon over here.
I remember seeing like
Oh, shit.
88K down
Yeah.
Something crazy like that, which is still a big number,
But
to me, that's like a huge amount of.
well, but that's like that was like to me that's a controlled group. It's like the fighting game community.
Yeah,
like everybody that's on Shoryuken was watching that basically. That couldn't make it.
And I feel like there's even people there's even people like me who like don't necessarily play the game, but I fucking love to watch people play that game.
Oh man, then.
Yeah. And I love to see them get really like fucking into it, and they'll be like, "Oh, I fucking quit this game." I get all mad and shit. I'm like, yeah.
It takes two people good at that game to make that game look like the way it's supposed to be played.
Well, seriously, like watching Marvel 2 or Marvel 3 is anything more exciting than watching people play that game? Like
Evo last year, Marvel 3 was like the huge. That was like the huge thing. Like Street Fighter sucked. When they came up to Street Fighter, it sucked.
I'm sorry.
KOF was really good too.
Yeah, KOF was nuts. I like Virtual Fighters.
I didn't see Virtual Fighters.
Fudo was definitely a magic
KOF because it was on before Marvel.
Yeah, because that stuff was going on till like 2 in the morning, and I was like,
boy,
I got work.
Never go down.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
The hypest matches I've ever seen was the last MVC2 money match. The one between Clockwork and Neo.
Neo and Clockwork with Justin Wong on commentary, yeah.
I think they use Cyclops wrong. See, I use Cyclops myself. That's what he sounds like to me.
Justin Wong?
Yeah, that's all he kept talking about was how he was using Cyclops wrong.
Except he's talented at video games.
Right.
Yeah,
you're like, hold
because he gets paid.
Hype bomb.
So I'd like to ask you guys something. You know, gaming, when it started out, it was kind of a really small group of people that did it, right?
Well, it was a
niche.
It was a niche.
And, you know, like, really simplified the formula so other people that could play it and kind of get into it. And you see another separation, again, we have professional gamers do this for money. Like, that's unreal to me. Do you think that that separation, more hardcore gamers, like, would lean towards that kind of competitive play for money style? Where, like, most people now are just like, yeah, I play whatever FPS is hot right now, and I don't really care about content.
That's a huge, going back to Evo, you really see people's attitudes towards that. If you look at Filipino Champ's interview about going to SoCal, I think it was, I can't remember. He talks about joining Street Fighter again for the money. You know, well, otherwise you look at people like Daigo.
Okay, real talk. You can't make money playing video games unless you have something to fall back on.
Well, yeah,
these guys like Justin Wong or Filipino Champ.
But it's a dream.
Yeah, exactly. They're 1 in 10,000. And I think a lot of people are chasing that dream, and they aren't really thinking about their own future. I don't know. Thoughts? Anybody?
I think it's more about making a career out of it. Like, you can make a career out of Street Fighter if you put the time into it. You have to put the time into it. You have to sacrifice schooling and your job and everything if you want to be that number one
You also
player,
have a very understanding girlfriend.
Yes. Your life is put on hold for your career, basically. But that could be said about all careers, almost. I mean, there are a lot of sacrifices made.
You can make a paying career out of video games as long as it's not playing the video games, is what it is. Think about it.
What, you're talking about sponsorship?
Not about sponsorship, but most of the people that make money in video games is not the people who play video games. That's Wong, that's Filipino Champ, that's kind of Daigo. I'm not sure about him. But, I mean, it's about making games, producing games, developing games, marketing games. It's not about, playing games. You've never heard of a rich guy who tested games.
Hold on. Since we're talking about Street Fighter, you look at, like, Gutex, right? The guy hasn't placed top 8 in fucking forever, right? Yeah. But he still has a place within the fighting game community because of his personality, because of the cross-counter videos he puts out. What do you think of that? Like, okay, if you can't make top 8, how else do you get in? How else do you make money?
That's essentially cashing in on the fact that you have so much knowledge. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He has so much knowledge. He has so much to offer outside of playing the game. He knows so much about the game. He knows so much about technicalities, all those kinds of things.
Yeah, look at who the commentators are.
But that could be said about sports too. I mean, there's sportscasters, all those kinds of things. It's just a different game.
But those guys have Super Bowl,
right? Right.
Hey,
We need some Evo rings.
Yeah.
That's what they need to come up with.
If I got a gauntlet, so help me, the future will be rings.
So, I mean, Evo's... I mean, gaming is a sport. It's kind of in its inception. It's not really a really well-known thing. Like, it's not like the NFL or the Super Bowl or some shit like that.
I think it is, though.
Well, with younger generation.
Yeah.
Like, G4 got recently, it's on its way out. Do you think gaming as a sport kind of event is still going to be something you see
I'm thinking so, because when Steam comes along, the Valve with the Dota 2,
The Steam box.
Steam box.
Dude, I don't know about that Steam box. I don't think that's going to sell really well.
What is Steam box for people who are illiterate in the gaming world?
I hear Steam box and I think dirty.
It's basically like a console that Steam is developing, and it's going to be Linux-based. And they've already come out with Big Picture, which is on, if you have Steam downloaded on your PC, you can run it. Okay. And it's like having a console interface.
Oh,
basically.
I've tried that.
It's real simplified.
TV?
Yeah.
On your TV, yes.
Actually, I thought that was kind of a brick joke when they announced the console. Surprise! It's a PC.
Right.
What did you think it was gonna be, you dummy?
Not really a console, but it's more like a small PC box. And what I like about it is, because consoles are okay, but there are issues like...
But see, this is a Steam box, so this will be like a console. So who's to say that it won't have the same issues that the console does?
Is it upgradable, though?
Yes,
That's what I don't know.
Yeah,
actually.
but then that's you paying like more money. That's the same thing as like, ooh, the PS4 is coming out, you know.
But also, like, with PC, of course they say it's Jeebus.
I think the Steam box is to appeal to people who don't PC game.
True.
That's what this is going to
graphics.
appeal to. Because if you have a PC, I hook my PC up to my TV. Yeah. And I got Big Picture on my TV.
Is NVIDIA
involved?
I think so.
I know NVIDIA is trying to make a system too.
No, they're doing
they made a handheld, didn't they? Like a handheld.
Really?
It's like a handheld graphics card.
For like a phone. Or no, yeah, it's like a controller.
Oh, you talking about MOBA?
No, it's like a controller, and inside the controller is the graphics card and all that stuff.
And that's what runs
that runs your games. So you can play
powers.
games.
So, what is it that makes the Steam box different than a laptop? I mean...
Well,
pretty much like that.
As Lauren was saying, you know, you could just hook up your PC to the computer and you got a Big Picture right there, right?
Right. That's basically what it is.
But
like I was saying, it appeals to people who aren't PC gamers right now. People who don't know what Steam is.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, like there are a lot of people out there that are, you know, missing out on Steam sales, the holiday sales.
The specs on that thing too. Like, well,
I haven't seen
not much, but they're saying that it could be upgradable easily. It's only like 4 parts, so let's say if you want to upgrade, you take that one part out, you put this in.
What is it? Like, the CPU, the card, the graphics card?
It's like the motherboard. They split into 4 pieces. The video card, you know, there's a... I can't remember, there's like a LAN. Then the processor.
They're getting real good with graphics cards, though.
Getting really small.
The thing about this is it... Whoa. I was sticking my face.
I think it's going to be pretty exciting.
The thing about this is, I mean, people still have to pay money for the games, but why do they want to buy this? I mean, they can just have an Xbox, play games, and still watch Netflix on their Google
I really
TV.
think it's like PC. It's like PC gaming. Most people are going to go out and buy a console.
You know what's weird about it too, though, is
that's it. That's all it is.
I see more like, you know, Xbox gameplay or online, and just the way the system runs the game. It looks like, because I have an Xbox, I want to say it looks pretty shitty. Like sometimes it'll look really shitty.
So if you care about graphics, then this is something for you.
Yeah.
There's also a web browser in it that doesn't lag. Yeah, Steam has said that it doesn't lag. It's supposed to not suck. So that's another plus on their side, I guess.
I'm gonna love it.
So
I'm okay with my PC. I'm alright with it. I'm indifferent.
And I think that they're like going back to the gaming thing because I'm totally out of my element right now. But
you'll have your crochet moment later.
Let's talk about crochet.
I
just feel like there's like different genres of gaming, and the only one that I really know about is like Street Fighter and like the fighting games. But it's like I know a lot of people who aren't like serious gamers, and they're sort of like they like Call of Duty and all of that stuff, and so it's like basically it's like I think that's what people are going that's what companies are going to be going after is like those people because they want more fucking money.
They have to target the majority.
They target the mainstream
if they want to make money.
So it's like that Steam thing, is that going to be going towards like an audience like that, or even like a WoW
I
audience?
think the Steam box will be a way for people who do consoles or do not play at all to get into PC. I think that's ultimately what it's going to do. That's the only way I can see it. The only reason I could see that thing fail miserably is if they do only stream, which I heard is not true. They actually have download.
Yeah. I mean,
because
anyone who has Steam can tell, like, there's going to be
But that's the thing is, this is supposed to appeal to the people that don't have Steam.
True.
And if you have Steam, you know what kind of sales you can get, what kind of deals, what to expect from them.
But there are some people that like the physical copy.
They have to make it appeal.
Right.
I'm
one of those guys.
That's like a collector aspect. That's a collector aspect. I like to have physical copies of things, you know. I have an Xbox, like a limited edition of the new Dead Space looks really awesome.
Oh, the Dev Box or whatever.
Yes! I know it's a bunch of shitty, nerdy stuff, but I love it.
I used to like limited editions, but they've been like real, like, not creative with them lately.
Like they just put a penis on it and they're like,
it's like here's your game and an art book and a music CD and a halfway strategy guide. Like I remember Lunar having like a strategy guide that only went like halfway a little bit and it like stopped or whatever. I mean, whatever happened to like creative stuff? I remember Lunar had like the first one you get a galleon puppet,
right?
And then the second one you always get a map with that shit, but
usually
the second one you got like a pendant and like all this other stuff,
right? Or even
I remember Art the Lad was like $100 on PlayStation. You got like 7 discs and like a bunch of shit. $100 on PlayStation. Julie's dick was $100 on PlayStation, and that came with like
not even collector's editions per se. And I think that in the 90s, if you bought a game, usually it came with a lot more stuff than it does now. Like, I remember if I bought a game, like as an RPG or something, the first Final Fantasy, for example, came with a big paper fold-out map. You didn't pay extra for that. It was in the box with the cartridge.
We all know the majority of the people will pay for less regardless.
Well, yeah. So, I guess since we kind of touched a little bit on the Steam box, what are your thoughts on the new generation of consoles that are coming out?
I don't care. My computer will still beat them.
I do feel like that. I feel so for PC that console just isn't. I mean, I'll see it when it comes. I'm not super hype about it, basically. I'll accept it as it comes.
Can I help you?
I'm just listening in on the conversation.
So I think that there's a minority of people that have bought consoles that don't want to admit that they weren't the wisest investment, you know?
Well, it's not a matter of that. It's cool that they have consoles, but a lot of people don't realize that when they look at that stuff, like, when you look at Game Informer and all those things, those pictures that they show, the trailers that they show, they're on PC. Your Metal Gear Solid Ground Zero game, that's PC.
I mean,
the Metal Gear Rising Revengeance shit that they were showing, like on TV spots and all that, that's PC. They're never gonna really show you what a console thing looks like. I honestly, when I got the new PC, I will never play another game on console because it doesn't have anti-aliasing. Let's just face it that way.
Are we at a point where we don't even need consoles anymore? They're a thing of the past.
No, we will always go to consoles. Ultimately, that's just what's
that Steam box has that console enabled shit.
Well, I think consoles really appeal to, and I don't mean to just generalize this. No, but younger people, younger kids. I'm talking like the tweens. The tweens love that shit, and it's not that you can't. I enjoy playing a game on a controller, but I plug my controller into the PC. I use the Xbox controller for the Walking Dead game, the whole game.
Ultimately, there always will be exclusives, so there will be a reason to play console.
What's a tween?
What's a tween?
Like an in-between kind of.
I don't know.
That's kind of young. I guess more
but out
like
you're a kid.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What are you guys talking about?
Tween.
You don't know.
I didn't mean it that young. No, I used the word tween and they didn't know what it was.
What's a tween?
It's a teen.
Teen. It's like before you're a teenager. But
Teenager
Like
status in the
12-year-old?
90s
Yeah.
Like 12.
was 13.
That one
Now
was
it's 13.
Like up, maybe. Like 12 up. Like there.
like, you know,
I hate 12-year-olds and teenagers.
like
I
They're not
know.
my age.
like 11 and
12
12.
teenagers.
Yeah.
Side note.
Catch, Chris.
What was the first console you had, Jerand? Like, let's go around. The first
console I ever had
First memories
was
of gaming.
Was a Nintendo.
Keep this man deep.
I had
Was it the old school Nintendo or the Super
the old
Nintendo?
NES. I had Mega Man.
Yeah.
I had Contra. I had River City Ransom, but it was called Game Wars. It wasn't River City Ransom. It was the other one.
Didn't they?
I had Battletoads.
Yeah.
Anybody remember Battletoads?
I had
No,
Battletoads.
can I say something about Mega Man? When I used to play that, I used to fucking own that shit. Like, on my... And, like, in
Raving enemies? Get on there. Get on there.
Yeah, and then it's like you try to play
Superman.
you try to play those games now, and you're like, holy shit, like this is so hard. Like for me, it's very hard to play those games.
We were like sponges when we were young.
Yeah.
What happened to that?
The smell
Like, they had all those codes and
Yeah,
stuff you
I
could
had
put in
Nightmare
there.
on
I don't know.
Oh,
I had
okay.
that really that other game. Like that other game.
You're supposed to use the quad adapter for it to get like.
Oh,
pound
I
that
didn't
shit.
have
Pound
four
his bag,
people that
man.
wanted to play that game.
Plus, the thing was fucking expensive.
I remember having the Zapper too.
I think everybody had
It's
that.
just going ching,
Want
ching,
that?
ching,
I bought a
like
whole
all the time.
What about you?
We had Mario. We had Mario.
Probably the first one that I really remembered is Sega. My cousin had the
It's all about
NES,
Echo.
and I remember Legend of Zelda on there.
Yeah,
And
the Master
That
System.
is the scariest
Yeah, the Master
non-horror
System or
game
the
I've ever
Genesis?
played.
I had the
Oh my god,
Genesis.
sharks!
I had the Genesis.
Oh my god,
But as
Alien.
far as that went, Sonic.
It's number 2.
Sonic. Yes, was an Altered Beast, my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Altered
Oh,
Beast.
Rise from your grave.
I used to say that.
Nerd.
I used to say that to my sister when I was trying to wake her up to go to school. I'd be, rise from your grave. Oh, that shit's not funny.
Too bad that they made that one on the PS2. That was.
Don't talk about it.
That was
You're gonna make me cry.
You know what? I actually never knew what a Sega was until this is sad, but like I didn't even know that was like a console or whatever. And then I went to my dad's friend's house, and they had his like son had like the TV station.
Sega Channel.
Yeah.
Sega Channel, yeah.
And he was like, yeah, check this out. And I was like, dude, I don't fucking care. Like, where's your Nintendo? Like, that's what I want to play. Like, I don't know how to...
Where's your knitting utensils?
Yeah, where's your knitting? No, I was like, where's your Nintendo? Like, I don't know how to play Sega, but, like, what is this? Like, I didn't even know what that was.
You know why I bought a Sega Genesis? For blast processing. You know what blast processing is?
Blast
Nothing, 'cause
processing.
it's fucking fake.
Evan, what is blast processing?
It's the buzzword. It's like fucking synergy. You know?
Synergy.
It's just made up bullshit.
What blast processing was is when Sega made that commercial, they needed to find that word that would grab somebody,
Right.
that would grab your kid. So the thing was
Not inappropriately.
Not like a clergyman.
Touch my ring.
that makes sense on why Michael Jackson's Moonwalker's on there and not Nintendo. Ooh. But as the Nintendo had better visual graphics, the Sega Genesis could also run things better. Hence why like Sonic games were really fast and things like that. Basically all it was it had faster processing. That's all it was.
I think Sega made the classic mistake of throwing all their money into hardware and not making good games. Because Nintendo always had solid titles come out. But Sega, just the Genesis, they had the 16, they had the 32X, and they had the CD. They're just like, they just wanted to make a tower of shit to sit on top of your Sega Genesis.
And there was only like 2 good games for each of them. Except for Night Trap. That game is golden.
But you know what I mean? Like, they spent all the money.
And with Nintendo, you can like... I had my original Nintendo, and then we got a Super Nintendo, and we both had those things till we were fucking teenagers.
Right.
And those games worked until, like, they probably still do work if I can ever find them.
Well, they're
And those are classic.
established better too.
Yeah, classic games.
Yeah, I'm not saying that Genesis
Like
had bad
Monopoly.
games.
Anybody
I'm just
remember
saying that
Monopoly?
Well, they had a lot of
Solid
ports. They had a lot of ports, and those games ultimately didn't look as good.
Right.
I remember they had a port of Paperboy on the Genesis, and it was good.
That was a fun game.
Yeah, no, it's the best game. But it didn't look as good. It looked almost like the regular Nintendo game. It was faster.
Yeah.
I love fast games. I mean, I'm a kid with
I gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast. Gotta go fast.
Yes.
Oh man, F-Zero on Nintendo.
Zero.
That was a cool game.
Do not hit the fucking wall.
Didn't you think that was like a beat 'em up when you first saw?
It was definitely Mario Kart with electric walls.
I love that game.
Don't hate on F-Zero, okay?
I love F-Zero.
I don't hate it.
I love it.
My first console was an Atari 2600
What does Zero stand for?
with a few carts for it. I don't even remember what I had.
Faster
I had like Smurfs.
Fuck
the game,
Zero.
This ridiculously impossible platform.
Fahrenheit.
I tried to play it yesterday. I can't do it. I know how I did when I was 4. Like I beat it when I was 4. I know how to do it. Just
No, it really
yeah.
is.
I think honestly, I think I'm worse playing games now than I was when I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
I still enjoy playing them.
I love them still. They're fun.
There's still gems. There's still gems out there. I mean, the Walking Dead game, Telltale, brought back the adventure genre. Not only that, but making it more, more current. Because Back to the Future was really good. Walking Dead was amazing.
Sam and Max was a good
Jurassic Park, I want to say was good, but that's because I like Jurassic Park. People may disagree with that. Yeah, you laugh.
I think you just like terrible games in general.
I do.
You're like the Ed Wood of gaming.
Do you actually like them? Do you like them ironically? Like you pretend to like them?
Yeah.
No.
Like sharks versus dinosaurs. Like,
in honesty of bad video games, I truly, genuinely like them, and that's because that there's a gym. I mean, even plumbers don't wear ties. It's just.
I can't believe you mentioned plumbers don't.
Even
that line.
Even that
go
game.
to YouTube, type in plumbers don't wear ties.
Literally, okay. To put this game in perspective, it was an FMV game with one FMV scene. You can play the whole game on YouTube. You just need to search it. Literally, and you just click. It's a PowerPoint. But it's stuff like that that's so bad. And what I can't understand is, in that era, that's the like Sega CD. That's the pursuit to play a game as realistic as possible. So how the fuck does it not get more realistic than a movie? Than watching a movie? But that spawns a lot of people too, because see, you have Arnie Lee and Hames in Double Switch. You have Dana Plato in Night Trap.
Dude, you are the James Lipton of bad games. You're the Rain Man of bad video games, sir.
If I'd like to quote my favorite villain in a video game, the James Lipton pose with the cards, it was the owner of the company and plumbers don't wear ties. In a scene where he talks to Laura, the main heroine. Take your damn clothes off. It was delightful.
Not to just jerk your dick off or anything, Jerand.
Thank you.
I think you have a point. And a lot
you
of
have to start somewhere. Where there is failure, there is success. You cannot succeed without failure. You have to make video games. There's like a decline.
Actually, I think the quote is, "You can't succeed without trying." Because if you failed, then you didn't succeed.
That's true, but see, there's also success and failure. Experiments have to go wrong sometimes in order for you to go to the next one. Sometimes there has to be bad things in order to go.
Have you guys ever seen the movie Troll?
Yeah.
Huge fan base for that.
No, that's Troll 2. That's Troll 2 you're talking about. That's the one with the kid. He goes, "Oh my god."
That is a good movie.
I thought the fan base made Troll 2. There's Troll 2.
It's goblin spelled backwards. Did you ever, you can go to YouTube. No, it's the best worst movie, the documentary, the best worst movie ever made.
I watched that.
The thing that happened to the lady who played the mother in that movie that was the weirdest and most awkward thing I've even that dentist, because I like how the dentist will talk about being in that movie, but then he went there and he was just like, never go back there again. Like, he's like,
as a connoisseur of bad things in general, What did you think of the sexually charged scene between the Lady Warlock and the dude in the trailer where they're eating corn and it turned into popcorn? What is your take on that?
How much? Okay, hold on. Okay, there's a scene. Okay, because this lady, like, she eats. She's like a goblin. She eats people, gets younger. And there's this thing where she goes to this kid's Winnebago and seduces them. And basically they're trying to get them to eat. Yeah, no, hold on. They get them to eat food.
Hold on, I need a permission slip or something to talk about this.
Well, they get them to eat food, and then the food ultimately has this shit in them that turns them into plants. Because this movie was it was speaking out against vegetarians for some reason.
Is this Ernest Scared Stupid?
No, yeah. But
Other great movies, by the way.
In that part, she's making out with the dude, and then just corn on the cob appears, and they start eating it. And she throws it aside, and apparently, and then as they're making out, apparently it's so hot that corn is popping in there, it's like they're in a microwave.
It's not a little bit it's like a whole several buckets.
It's like there were several corn on the cob.
It's like when you go.
Hold on. They went from corn on the cob to popcorn through pure eroticism.
Yes. I think the Colonel would approve, but
I think they had
a trough of popcorn.
I think they had people that weren't hot in a scene that wasn't hot with dialogue that wasn't hot, so the only way they could convey it was hot by visibly making corn on the cob turn into popcorn.
Should it bother me that kind of makes sense on some?
It bothers me that I was able to explain that.
I might not be drinking enough as it is. I think I need to be more drunk.
No, but there's a certain gem in it. I mean, look at...
It has its charm.
Yeah,
I mean... a one-eyed pony.
Like a one-eyed pony. They're so successfully bad. Look at Dreamcast. Dreamcast is an amazing system. You either get games on there that are super good, and they're immediately classics, or you get games on there like Illblade that are just so laughably dumb, but they're still, you'll play them. They're still playable. I mean, they're ridiculous. I think that's how, Sega CD was. I mean, did I ever show you, what was it? The Slam City with Scottie Pippen? The live-action basketball game?
I don't know.
Is that anything like the White Men Can't Jump video game?
Absolutely. It is, in fact, the White Man Can't Jump video game.
Did you say toss me that rock a lot?
Yes. There's a dude. You pick your opponent before you get the Scottie Pippen. You pick your opponent before you get the Scottie Pippen, and then you get treated to a sweet 90s scene of people street dancing and graffiti everywhere. Lots of Nikes. Scottie Pippen telling you, "Do you think you have what it takes?" And then you pick your character. And I remember you picked the guy Bulldog. He's the only white dude in it. And he's the angriest white man in a video game I've ever seen. And I remember that because every time he fucks up, he gets mad and blames him on somebody else. And he'll be like, "Toss me that rock." He's like, "What you got? What you got?" And then if the shot clock runs out, he visibly gets mad and he just starts crying. He cries. And he's just like, "Who's keeping time here?" I remember that too because that's the one with the slam dunks where it plays airplane noises and you literally fly over the hoop and just weird shit like that. I remember that. That's the only thing I remember from that game.
One last question. Is Phil Lamar in this game? And if not, why not?
Phil Lamar is in everything, by the way.
Phil Lamar is actually, in fact, not in Slam City. Now, because... No, hold on. It's because that game was apparently in production the same time as Make My Video CNC Factory. Okay. And Phil Lamar, as hard as it is to believe, cannot appear in two places. Because I don't have anything else to do but play terrible video games.
You need to come here more often and talk about these.
Well, no shit, man. I listen to you blabber on about video games and I think spin-off podcast. I think franchise. I think let's attach some stickers to you like a NASCAR.
And walk around with Sega CD stickers.
Exactly.
But no, dude. But that would be bad because Nathan Barnett or whatever, the guy that has the Beat Tom series and all that. Remember the guy I was showing you that does Talking Classics and all those?
Oh sure.
It's gone, man.
Okay. I'm gonna turn my head away from you. Shit, I can never remember that guy. Keith Abicary.
Oh, okay.
He does all the old stuff. That dude would just rule me.
Maybe not, actually, because
Alright.
I don't think that guy plays anything but SNK.
Okay.
Alright.
So, we've talked about
We promised
contemporary games.
we
We've talked about...
eventually talk about knitting.
No,
All
I
right.
don't want to talk about knitting.
No?
Crochet?
Okay, another
Making
spin-off.
blankets?
We've talked about classic games. We've talked about contemporary games. We've talked about, anal recession. We've talked about... I think we've touched on many... bathroom moments. We've talked about secrets of female lore. Does anybody else have a closing comment for tonight's jamboree?
It was a lot of fun. Enjoyed having everybody here.
Yeah, thank you.
We should definitely do it more often.
I love
Thank
it.
you for a gift.
So hot.
Now take it off.
You want to be a star, don't you?
Give it to you. Give it to you real good.
So now that we're all nude, I think it would be a good time to say
All this corn is popping.
this was the Club of Heroes. If you'd like to contact us, that's clubofheroes@gmail.com.
Send us your hate mail.
Yes, please send us your angry, violent, nonsensical rants.
Tell me how loud I was.
Tell him how wrong Jerand is in every point.
I think he was a really douchebag guy. That Jerand him, what a dick. What a dick.
Are they
So anyway,
visibly pointing at
send
me?
photos of your genitals to clubofheroes@gmail.com.
I will personally come back, rate them, send them back to you, tell you what I think.
Club of
Out of 1 to 5,
You can like our Facebook
1 being
page.
really bad, 5 being
I'm sorry.
really good,
You know,
shiny, veiny. He will rate them. He will rate them really nice.
me and John will
it's gotta be a good
deliberate
thing.
behind closed doors. We will debate.
If there's a ball sack in there, it's a bonus.
If you can fit it, I don't know.
couple of big balls, couple of meat shooters.
One picture minimum. One picture only.
Looks like an office toy bouncing to and fro. Anyway, clubofheroes@gmail.com, clubofheroes.blogspot.com. Anywhere you want to hit us up, please hit us up. Please, we're lonely, we're desperate, we need your dick.
Beat us like Rihanna.
What? Well, now Rihanna's gonna unsubscribe. Nice going, Matt.
We apparently had more than 5 subscribers according to how many people are unsubscribing here.
And that's more fake YouTube accounts than I have, so I know it's listening. But yeah, I really enjoyed having all you guys here. I'd like to have you come by again. It's great fun. And
Yeah.
I guess we'll see our 2 viewers next time.
Right. Richard, if you're listening.
You're still a douchebag.
This one's for you, dog. Someone please hit stop.
Stop.